A special day at the White House, learning about news and visitors. Hello, young friends. Today, we're going to talk about something exciting that happened at the White House. The White House is a big, beautiful building in Washington, D.C., where the President of the United States lives and works. It's a super important place because lots of big decisions are made there that help people all over the country and even the world. Recently, something special happened at the White House. A famous person named Conor McGregor came to visit. Conor is a mixed martial arts, MMA, fighter from Ireland. MMA is a sport where people use different ways of fighting, like punching and kicking, to compete. Conor is really good at it, and he has tons of fans who cheer for him. He visited the White House on St. Patrick's Day, which is a fun holiday that celebrates Irish culture. For on this day, people wear green, have parades, and sometimes even turn rivers green to celebrate. 5. When Conor visited, he met the President of the United States, Donald Trump. 6. They took a picture together in a special room called the Oval Office. 7. The Oval Office is where the President works and meets important people. 8. It's called oval because it's shaped like an egg. Pretty neat, right? But that's not all. Conor also got to talk at a news conference with the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. 9. A news conference is when important people, like the President or the press secretary, talk to reporters and answer their questions. 10. Reporters are people who write stories for newspapers, TV, or the internet so everyone can know what's happening. 11. Conor talked about his country, Ireland, and shared some ideas about things he thinks are important, like how his government is doing and people moving to Ireland from other places. 12. What is a news conference? Let's learn more about what a news conference is. Imagine you're in school, and your teacher has something big to tell the class, like a new rule or a fun trip. The teacher stands in front of everyone, explains it, and lets you ask questions so you understand. A news conference is kind of like that. The press secretary or the President talks to reporters to share news from the White House. 13. The press secretary's job is to tell everyone what the government is doing and answer questions so people know what's going on. 14. During this news conference, Caroline Leavitt talked about some other important things too. She said the United States and a country called Israel were talking about serious stuff happening in a place called Gaza. Israel is far away, and Gaza is a small area where there are sometimes fights. The United States and Israel are friends, so they talk to help each other out. 15. It's like when you and your friends team up to solve a problem. They also talked about immigrants. Immigrants are people who move from one country to another to live there. 16. Sometimes, there are rules about who can stay in a country. The government was talking about these rules to make sure they're fair and kind to everyone. Being fair is something well learned in school, right? Another topic was about the United States and Russia. Russia is a big country, and sometimes countries need to talk to solve problems or make plans together. For example, they might talk about how to stop fights or work on big projects. It's like when two groups in your class disagree, and they talk to find a way to get along. All these things matter because they affect lots of people. Even if they sound tricky, it's good to know leaders are trying to make the world better. Why news conferences matter? News conferences are super important in a country like the United States. We have a kind of government called a democracy, where people choose their leaders. 17 But to pick good leaders, people need to know what's happening. That's where reporters help. They ask questions at news conferences and share the answers with everyone through newspapers, TV, and the internet. 18 It's like how your teacher explains things so you can learn. This helps everyone stay smart about what the government is doing. All about the White House now. Let's talk more about the White House. It's been the home of every U.S. president since John Adams in 1800. 19 It has 132 rooms, 35 bathrooms, and 6 levels. Wow, that's huge. 19. The president lives there with their family and works with lots of helpers to keep everything running smoothly. 20 The White House isn't just a house, it's a symbol of our country. 21. The president has a big job. They're the leader of the United States and make decisions about laws, keeping people safe, and helping everyone. 22 But they don't do it alone. They have helpers like the vice president, advisors, and the press secretary, who talks to reporters. 23. Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, speaks to reporters almost every day. 24 She answers their questions and explains what the president is up to. Sometimes, reporters ask hard questions, and that's okay. It helps make sure the government is doing its job well. Reporters are like detectives, finding out the truth and sharing it with us. Fun facts and big ideas. Here's a fun fact. The White House has a movie theater, a swimming pool, and even a bowling alley. It's not just for work, the president's family can have fun there too. There's also a vegetable garden where the First Lady and sometimes kids from schools grow food. 25 It's a cool way to learn about healthy eating. Did you know the White House has a secret tunnel? It's true. It connects to other buildings and is used for safety, like in emergencies. It's not like in movies with lots of chases, just a smart way to stay safe. During the news conference, Caroline also mentioned a newspaper called The Washington Post. Newspapers tell stories about the world, and this one is famous. She said something nice about it, showing that reporters are important, even when they ask tough questions. Why this matters to you? Why should you care about this? Even though you're young, learning about the world helps you grow into a smart and kind person. The decisions made at the White House can affect your life, like rules about schools or parks. One day, you might visit the White House or even be a leader. Knowing how things work helps you make good choices later, like voting for leaders when you're 18. Speaking of voting, that's how people pick leaders in a democracy. You can practice now by voting in school for things like class leaders. The United States has 3 parts of government: the executive, the president, the legislative, makes laws, and the judicial, checks laws. 26 They work together like a team. More about Connor's visit. Let's go back to Conor McGregor. He's not just a fighter, he's also a businessman with his own clothing line and a drink called whiskey. 27 His visit was special because it showed how sports and leaders can connect. He talked about loving Ireland and wanting it to do well. He even said he thinks Ireland's leaders could do better, which is something people tell leaders everywhere. Listening to people is a big part of being a good leader, being a reporter. What's it like to be a reporter at the White House? They work in a room called the briefing room, with chairs, cameras, and a podium where the press secretary talks. 28 Reporters have to be brave and smart, asking questions to find out what's true. Sometimes, the president Camesto talk too, especially for big news. St. Patrick's Day and Morist. Patrick's Day is more than just green stuff. It celebrates Irish history. 29 Lots of people in the U.S. have Irish family from long ago, so it's a fun way to remember that. The White House often has special guests like Connor for this day. 30. The news conference also talked about Israel and Gaza because there are problems there. The U.S. helps countries talk to find peace. For immigrants, the government makes rules to be fair, and with Russia, big countries talk to avoid trouble. It's all about working together. What can you do? Want to learn more? Ask your teacher or parents for kid-friendly books or websites about the government. Try listening to news and guessing the main ideas. You can even play reporter-a-thon by asking your family questions. Imagine being president for a day. What would you do? Maybe extra recess or ice cream for lunch? It's fun to dream, even if being president is a serious job. Wrapping up. The White House is a place of history and big decisions. News conferences share what's happening, and visitors like Conor McGregor make it exciting. By learning about this, you're getting smarter about the world. Keep asking questions and learning. Who knows, maybe you'll be at the White House, making news yourself.